The judge smiled at the white cops, but that smile disappeared the moment the black defendant revealed he was a U.S. attorney. That's where this story begins. Jamal Winslow never planned to become the center of national headlines. He never wanted fame, never wanted a courtroom full of reporters, and definitely never imagined he'd be standing in front of a judge fighting for his name, his dignity, and his life. But corruption has a way of finding the wrong person at the wrong time, and this time it picked the worst possible target. Before we get into the story, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss stories like this. Now, let's begin. Jamal Winslow had spent years building a reputation as one of the most respected federal prosecutors in his district. Calm, sharp, and impossible to intimidate. People who tried to lie in front of him usually regretted it. He had a talent for pulling out the truth like a thread from a sweater until the whole story unraveled. But outside the courtroom, Jamal was just a quiet man heading home late after a long day. He was driving through a suburban neighborhood, thinking about the case he had wrapped up that evening, when blue lights flashed in his rearview mirror. He frowned. He wasn't speeding. His car was fine. He knew that because he had just had it serviced 2 days ago. Still, he pulled over. Two officers stepped out, Officers Reardon and McCall, both already tense, both already looking at him like he was a problem they needed to handle. The first officer leaned into his window. "License and registration." Jamal nodded calmly. "Sure, may I ask the reason for the stop?" The cop smirked. "Broken tail light." Jamal sighed. "My tail lights are new. They were checked yesterday." The smirk dropped. "Step out of the vehicle." Jamal recognized the tone instantly. It was the same tone he had heard countless times from defendants he prosecuted, men who loved power but hated accountability. He stepped out slowly, hands visible, no sudden moves. But before he could finish closing his door, the officer slammed him against his own car. "Stop resisting!" "I'm not resisting," Jamal said through gritted teeth. He wasn't loud, he didn't yell. He knew shouting would only make things worse. The second officer cuffed him, twisted his wrists hard, and pushed him toward their car. Jamal kept repeating the same sentence. "You're making a mistake." But they weren't listening. They searched his car without a warrant, found nothing, but still charged him with resisting arrest and obstruction. It was after midnight when they booked him. And not once did they check the ID inside his jacket that would have ended everything before it began. A gold federal badge. Shiny, heavy, unmistakable. But Jamal didn't show it. Not yet. Because he was tired. Tired of being careful, tired of being polite, tired of living in a world where his title protected him, but his skin didn't. So he made a decision. He would let the system reveal itself. The next morning, Jamal's attorney, not a public defender, but a close friend, walked into the holding area with wide eyes. "Jamal, what happened?" Jamal simply said, "Let the process play out." When the case reached the courtroom, Judge Hendricks barely hid her annoyance. "We are here for a resisting arrest case involving..." She looked down at the folder. "Mr. Winslow." The officers strutted into the courtroom like they owned the place. Relaxed, confident, smiling. They'd done this before, plenty of times. The prosecutor, a young, ambitious attorney, barely looked at the evidence. He wasn't here for justice. He was here for a win. "Your Honor," he began, "the defendant refused lawful instructions, became aggressive, and..." Jamal raised his hand calmly. "Your Honor, may I speak?" Judge Hendricks rolled her eyes. "This is highly irregular." "It's necessary." Jamal said. The judge paused, annoyed but curious. Proceed. And right there in front of the courtroom, the officers, the prosecutor, and a judge who thought she had already decided the case, Jamal reached into his briefcase, opened a small leather holder, and lifted his federal ID. A U.S. attorney badge. Real, verified, unmistakable. The courtroom went silent. The prosecutor's jaw dropped. One officer muttered, "Oh shit." The judge's face drained of color. Jamal placed the badge on the table. Your Honor, I am a federal prosecutor, and last night I was assaulted, unlawfully detained, and charged with fabricated crimes by two officers who believed my life had no value. The judge stammered. This isn't... We weren't made aware... You didn't ask, Jamal said softly, and the officers didn't care. The prosecutor quickly stood. Your Honor, I suggest we dismiss... No, Jamal interrupted. We're not dismissing anything. He turned to face the officers. You wrote in your report that I resisted. Did I? Neither answered. You said I was aggressive. Was I? Silence. You searched my car without consent or probable cause, correct? Still nothing. Judge Hendricks shifted uncomfortably. Officers, she finally said, her voice shaking, do you wish to revise your statements? Jamal didn't wait for them to respond. I have footage. Gasps echoed. Reporters in the back shuffled forward. Phones went up. Jamal continued. And not just from last night. From multiple encounters these officers had with innocent people. Footage they didn't know existed. Footage from traffic cams, body cams, nearby businesses. Hands trembled. Throats tightened. Careers dissolved in real time. The truth spread like wildfire, and within hours, the footage leaked online. A national audience erupted. Protests gathered outside the courthouse. Dozens of old cases involving these officers were reopened. A system built on lies collapsed piece by piece. And when the verdict came, it was historic. Charges against Jamal dropped. Officers arrested, fired, and indicted. Judge Hendricks investigated for bias. Prosecutor removed from the case and reported for misconduct. When Jamal walked out of the courtroom, reporters swarmed him. Mr. Winslow, do you have a comment? He paused, looked into the cameras, and said, This isn't about me. This is about every person who doesn't get the chance I got today. People who get crushed by a system that forgets they're human. This time, the truth won, but the fight isn't over. And he walked away. Not as a victim, but as the man who exposed what everyone else tried to hide. Thank you so much for watching. If you want more powerful stories like this, like the video, turn on the notification bell, and subscribe for more content from Killer Minds. Your support helps these stories reach people who need to hear them. Stay tuned. More stories are coming.